Hello and welcome to our video on the wonderful country of Peru. We are going to give an honest account of our trip, which had some ups and downs. Our trip included the Amazon rainforest, the Andes Mountains and Sacred Valley, Lima and southern Peru. Please join us for the journey. There are so many amazing places to visit in South America. Is Peru worth it? Let's find out. Our trip started in the Andean Highlands in Cusco. Cusco is the ancient capital of the Incan Empire and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is most well known as being the gateway to Machu Pichu, but it also has a lot to offer in its own right. The first thing that hits you when you arrive in Cusco is the altitude, around 3,400 meters above sea level. It can take a while to adjust, and the best advice on your first day is to drink lots of water and don't drink alcohol or eat a lot of food. I also found drinking coca tea helpful. It can be hard to sleep on your first night there. We got a Cusco tourist ticket, which is a multi-site pass that gives you access to 16 attractions, including museums, monuments and ruins around the city, and costs about $30. You can use it for up to 10 days. I wouldn't recommend all of the sites that are included, but it is definitely worth it, and there are a lot of interesting places you can visit, including the Regional Historical Museum and the Center of Native Art, which has these beautiful textiles hanging on the wall, but you will see these colors being worn by locals all over Cusco. The next day we had a day tour around Cusco and the local Incan sites. We had a guide called Carlos who had an interesting approach to the facts. In general, we found the quality of guides in Peru to be lower than in other countries. This is perhaps a result of the sheer number of tourists who come for Machu Picchu, so be careful and do your research to find the best possible guides that you can. We visited Sacsayhuaman, which is a massive Inca fortress and ceremonial complex located just above the city of Cusco. It is included in the tourist ticket and is about 2 kilometers from the city. You can walk quite steep uphill or take a taxi, which takes about 10 minutes, or you can join a guided tour, which takes you by bus. It is really impressive and offers an amazing view of the Incan walls with the massive stones tightly fitted together. These blocks of limestone weigh up to 140 tons and are slotted together perfectly with no cement. You can walk across the 3 levels of the site and also get amazing views over the city of Cusco beneath you. Then Carlos showed us a sacrifice altar.
The natural outcrop has been fashioned.
I will sacrifice you here.
Of course you are.
And look at this. This is something that you will see over and over again everywhere. That is the pata, the serpent-like symbol or the step, symbol. 3 levels. This represents the inner universe. I mean, person, human, creation, recreation, and procreation. This is our cycle. That's how we live. You create here. You recreate because you have to consume. You have to recreate.
Yeah.
And you have to procreate. That's a natural, cycle of your life. There you have depicted.
Then it was time to head back to Cusco for some local cuisine.
Just trying some local food, tenderloin, chicken curry, having some local drinks. Really good.
The next day we visited the Sacred Valley. On the way there, we stopped off to visit the local Quechua community where we fed the alpacas and learnt about the traditional weaving methods. And I was offered some local tips about getting rid of my grey hair.
Here, do you have one?
I need it.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's late for you. This looks only prevent no miracle, okay? Can spinning is normally a mini activity, for example, dancing, cooking, playing, carry a baby, and also give a kiss our husband, no problem. The next process is the dyeing process. We use different plants and minerals. In this, the eucalypts we use for different tonality green. In this, the Andean moss we use for different tonality orange. In this, the Kingsak uchu is a tree corner. Is the plant medicinal? Is good for arthritis. For the woman Andean, it's difficult to obtain this tonality, but it's unique. For the fix the color, we use baby urine and children 10 years down. Tara beans is good for sore throat. We are often the gray. And the other is the purple core. It's very delicious and drink chicha morada. We are often this tonality. And the other is a coli, dry flower for this tonality, yellow. And the most important, my friends, is in this cactus is the cochineal. Cochineal is a parasite. Look. Are you ready? Look.
So it's from inside the cactus?
Yes, lives
Okay.
on the cactus. Now I put the lemon juice. Look.
Orange.
Orange,
Wow.
change other tonality. Now I use the aloe tonality.
Wow. Red.
The fuchsia.
Fuchsia, yeah.
Look.
Next, we visited some more Incan sites in the Sacred Valley and saw the iconic multi-leveled fields and learned about all the crops that were grown, including thousands of different varieties of potatoes. In the afternoon, we visited the amazing Ollantaytambo fortress and enjoyed incredible views across the Sacred Valley.
Look at that little cacti over there on the wall.
Very cute.
This is a very busy side, but if you go on the paths slightly out of the way, you'll find peace and quiet.
And the quarry was all the way up there, so they don't know how they brought these 40-ton rocks to build this. The next day, we took a 360-degree tourist train called Inca Rail to the town of Aguas Calientes, which is the last post before Machu Picchu. It is very touristy and includes this singing and dancing on the train. We made our way up the mountain in the pouring rain to Machu Picchu itself.
Hello from very rainy Machu Picchu. It's quite atmospheric, but hard work, cold and wet over here.
In the clouds. There are 3 different circuits at Machu Picchu. Circuit A is a panoramic route, which is just the upper section and is best for taking pictures from the higher vantage point. Depending on the weather, you may not be able to see much from up there, as there can be a lot of fog, like when we went. Circuit C is the lower circuit and includes access to the lower part of the site. We took the most complete route, which is Circuit B. You start at the top with the amazing views over the site. Then you walk down and through the site, including Guardian's House, Sun Temple, Main Plaza, Intihuatana Sacred Rock, and more. This takes about 2.5 to 3 hours and is incredible. This is the residential section. These are the Incan houses. Altar and the foundations with no mortar to allow water to pass through. This is the roof construction. Yeah?
Make a ridiculous picture.
Beautiful orchids, we have in this national park, of paradise flowers we have in this national park, and begonias, more orchids.
Is how the mountain looked before Machu Picchu was built by the Incas. It was all granite stone everywhere, and they built it and put it into order.
Another very important thing, why we call it the Temple of the Three Windows. According to investigation by the student, it was a Highland during Mr. Highland and he was 80 years, he started to do many excavations. The under of the three windows, he was found another offering. But why? Probably my ancestors, they chose some offering by the windows because by the windows they do the representation of one stronger ideology of the Incas. It's about the Andean trilogy. Because my ancestors, they consider they had three different Andean worlds. The spiritual world, this world, and to the underworld. The condor, the puma, and the snake,
This whole section behind us is about to collapse, so they're closing
Well, they
it.
think it might collapse.
So they're closing for some building work, and the whole urban section is going to be closed in the next year or two, so future visitors will not be able to walk in this section at all. They'll only be able to take the panoramic route around the top.
And now look at this. Alpacas or llama.
Look, that one's running.
Yeah, it will
Gonna
jump.
jump.
It will jump.
Jump, jump, jump.
Jump. Whee!
The baby's coming as well.
Leaving Cusco?
We're on the Inca rail.
Yeah, not leaving Cusco.
Not the Inca trail. We've got some Incan cookies, and we're having some mate de coca. This is coca leaf tea. It helps with the altitude, and it's also what you can use to make some other things as well.
And we were leaving Machu Picchu, not leaving Cusco. Jack's making the tea.
The next day, I hiked up to Humantay Lake at a very high elevation. The air is thin and it is a challenging hike, but it is well worth it for the amazing views at the top. You can also take horses up if you are struggling with the altitude. So I'm here at Humantay Lake with my guide Carlos.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
How high above sea level are
We are 4,280 meters above sea level.
Wow, this is the beautiful view. In the evening, I returned to Cusco and tried the local speciality of cuy, guinea pig, for dinner. It tasted a lot better than it looked. The next morning, we had a short flight down to the Amazon rainforest, where we made our way to our lodge via boat.
Very glad to be back in the Amazon. This time it's a completely different part, so hopefully we'll learn and see something new. It's very, very exciting.
We have just arrived in the Amazon rainforest, and this is our room, our cabin, surrounded by the animals, the wild animals like Sasha, with our view over the lake. It's very nice. There are some caimans in there which are like crocodiles. So not going to swim.
Hello.
We then went for a walk and enjoyed our surroundings and the wonder of being in the Amazon rainforest surrounded by massive trees and wild animals. Here is Sasha for scale.
Look at the size of this tree. This is apparently similar to the fig tree, but it's actually an invasive tree. So it's a fake friend. It kills other trees, but it's huge.
It was then time for a boat trip on the lagoon, where we saw lots of reptiles, including caimans and turtles, on our way to the lagoon. And then on the banks of the lagoon, we were lucky enough to see several species of monkeys. Oh, it's two different species here.
Yeah.
The red or rufus is more howler. The one over there, it has a baby.
So we're here in the Amazon rainforest in the Peruvian section. We're close to the border with Bolivia and Brazil.
No, you don't need to say it like that.
And we have just been on the lagoon lake and we've seen some cool animals and lots of monkeys.
Powder monkeys and cappuccino monkeys. And we saw caimans, the black and the white one. Looks good.
Early the next morning, we climbed up the steps to the 40-meter high canopy for some amazing views over the top of the trees.
Very, very high. In the middle of the Amazon rainforest, I spy a wild, height-fearing animal. He's slowly making his way through this tremendous, dangerous road up high in the trees. He's coming up, looking at me, asking me to save him. And the creature is making it, slowly, step by step, holding with both hands on each side of the tightrope. He slowly made his way through. Well done, the wild creature, Jack Swindon.
King of the jungle. So one thing you may not know about Sasha is she has a secret passion.
Bird watching!
So she gets one of these books and then explain how it works.
And you need to spot as many of them as you can. And then you tick them off. Some books have a tick next to it, some of them you just tick yourself. And then you keep it. And then next time you go to the country or to the place, you can try again and find the ones you haven't seen before.
The sun was not always shining and we had a delayed start for our next boat trip due to the foggy conditions. The weather in the rainforest can change in minutes and you need to be prepared for everything, so pack a lot of variety of clothes. The fog cleared and we were ready to go out on the boat down some tributary rivers of the Amazon.
And then you straight away go into this guy.
Puffbird?
Puffbird, yeah. I don't like.
Sounds like Jack.
You sound like a squirrel monkey. Look, here.
Swallows.
After our boat trip, it was time for a night walk, where we grabbed our torches and set off to see a variety of bats and insects, including snakes and tarantulas. This is not for the faint-hearted, but it is a great way to see animals in their natural environment. Just make sure you remember to wear long sleeves and trousers.
Just leaving the Amazon, enjoying the last flowers. It was really nice. Always recommend everyone to get to the Amazon if they can. Stay in a good lodge and enjoy.
We then flew to Lima to explore the capital city. It is pretty chaotic, especially arriving in rush hour. The driving here is the worst in South America and it is not for the faint-hearted, especially in Lima. Our taxi driver attempted to scam us. Be extra careful and stick to Uber if possible. Whilst waiting for an Uber, a local taxi driver said he would take us for the same price. I agreed the price with him, and then when we arrived at our hotel in downtown Lima, he attempted to charge me $70 instead of 70 sol, which was the agreed price. It was okay in the end, but you need to keep your wits about you. We went on a walking tour to take in the main sites, including the city centre, cathedral, and museums and galleries. A couple of days in Lima is enough, but be careful at night time. The highlight of Lima is the incredible gastronomy, which is some of the best in Latin America, if not the whole world. Our trip coincided with our wedding anniversary, and we celebrated at the #1 ranked restaurant in the world, Central. The chef Virgilio Martinez Velez takes you on a journey through the different elevations of Peru, starting from the sea to the Andes Mountains. We also ate at Kiola and Astrid y Gaston and highly recommend them all. We drove down the coast to Paracas, which was eerily reminiscent of a British seaside town. One main difference is that one of the attractions here is to dress up as a black person and take photos, which was very popular with domestic tourists. Needless to say, we didn't video this as we didn't want to support it. One activity we would recommend is a boat trip. We took one which departs from Paracas port and traveled along the Pisco Bay. It stops at the giant Candelabra geoglyph, then continues to the Ballestas Islands, known as the Poor Man's Galapagos, because you can see unusual animals such as sea lions, penguins, and pelicans. You don't need to book this in advance, and there are lots of operators selling tours and combos with other activities such as ATV tours. We traveled further south to a town called Huacachina. This is very trendy on Instagram with lots of videos of activities like sand surfing, but we found it extremely touristy and full of people hassling us. We didn't enjoy it and wouldn't recommend it. If you have visited any deserts before, then you will not be impressed by this place. We did, however, find the local Inca Museum fascinating, which has 26,000 artifacts representing indigenous cultures of Paracas, Nazca, Chincha, Wari, and Inca. There were many displays of mummies and children with stylized hair, which are unique and fascinating. We decided not to go further south and see the Nazca lines as we had originally planned, as we really did not enjoy this part of Peru. We headed back north to Lima and stopped off for a very nice stay in La Confianza Hotel in a village called Catapalla. In Catapalla, we visited a historic bodega where we learned about the pisco making process and, of course, had a tasting.
El efecto del cordón y la rosa.
Pisco.
This is like what they've accumulated as a leftover things from making pisco for 40 years.
We had a fantastic time in Peru. It wasn't without its drawbacks, but overall, it was a fascinating country. Sometimes when you're traveling, things don't always go to plan. And as you can see, we rearranged things. Instead of going further south into Peru, we actually ended up going to Panama, which was an incredible trip filled with fascinating adventures and experiences. Please join us on our next video to see how we got on.